So you're looking for a Hall effect keyboard that's affordable and Fox. I might have the one for you. By the way, if you don't know what any of that means, that's totally fine, and I'm gonna explain it to you in a minute. Hey everyone, it's Tristan from Crafting Worlds, and today we are going to be looking at the Keychron K2 HE that has magnetic switches, is affordable, and Fox. Okay, let's go over what all those mean. First of all, magnetic switches. This is a new thing. Not many people know what this is unless you're like a gamer. However, this isn't something that just benefits gamers. And let me explain that, because when I first saw all the Hall effect keyboards, which if you're looking at this video, either YouTube sent you on a rabbit hole and you have no idea what's happening right now, or you were looking intentionally for Hall effect keyboards. And you've probably heard about companies like Wooting and Wooting and Wooting? Yeah, maybe Razer, but probably Wooting. And you've probably watched videos where they say, Hall effect keyboards are cheating. This is cheating. This is basically cheating. This is like cheating. And there's a reason all that's happening. However, the Hall effect keyboard is not something that's brand new. These existed back in the day. These are magnetic switches, and you can set the actuation point on your switch. So on a normal switch where you push down, so there's an actuation and there's a reset. So you push it down, and then once it comes back above that reset, you can push it down again. On a Hall effect keyboard, you can set where those are. Normally we do talking head for a while, but we gotta jump right into this because I gotta show you what that kind of means, what all Hall effect means. So let's scroll on down here to the breakdown. Okay, so first of all, these are magnetic switches. So they have a start force of 40 grams and then an end force of 60 grams. And they don't have your normal actuation point because it's done analog. It's set up through a launcher, which is the Keychron Launcher. You can't use VIA because it needs it for the ability to set the actuation points of each individual key or all of the keys at once. And it lets you set your actuation distance, which is very, very cool, by the way. So here I have all my keys set to 2.3 because I'm typing, and when I type, I find that to be a very nice actuation distance. But you have these things like rapid trigger, which allows you to make it so when you, let's select the key here, when you let go of a key, if it's 0.4 millimeters, it will re-register as you've clicked it. So you can get very fast response times for games. And that's where the whole gaming thing comes from, where you have rapid trigger, you have analog mode, you have long pressing of the switch. Let's go through their key points here because I'm only so technical, so I'm just gonna bring us through these points here. So this is a traditional mechanical switch right here. And so you've got the activation point right here, and that's when you push it past that. And then once you get it above the reset, you can push it back down and it will register again. However, once it's in this active point, if you push it back down, it doesn't register until you've reset it. So you have to lift your hand up. With the magnetic switches, you can set that actuation point, and then when you put rapid trigger on, you can make it so that any movement upward will release it. And so that means you can hit much quicker many keys. So you've got last keystroke priority and snap click. So basically in like titles like Valorant and stuff, with snap click, deeper key presses take precedent when two keys are hit at once, automatically resetting shallower presses. So you can kind of like tap and tap, and so when you left and right and left and right and left and right, or up, down, left, right, whatever you're strafing, it will register that much better. So here's what it looks like in the two different. So dynamic rapid trigger, here it is. And so you have to reset to move here, but with this you can set that actuation point, and also over here it lets you get that rapid trigger, so you don't even have to hit the reset point, and it'll know you've released a little bit, okay, you've now pushed it back down, and it will continue moving. So when you're gaming, sometimes when you're strafing left and right, your hand will favor one way or the other. And with a Hall effect magnetic switch, where you can have this rapid trigger and stuff like that, you're going to stay in the center more often. So your character isn't gonna like lean to one side or the other, depending on your switches, because it's going to really activate on all of your presses. This is crazy. So this is one of the cooler things. You can make one key have multiple actions. So like you can, if you hold it down a little bit, you could walk, and then you hold it down really hard and you can make it sprint. So there's a lot of, you can really go into this and customize the crap out of it. It's got analog mode for like your racing games. As you push the key down, the accelerator will go faster and faster. There is a lot that can be done with this. It basically reflects what a joystick would do. And the Keychron Launcher that comes with this is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best launchers out there. So Wooting is known for their launchers, and their launcher is probably the industry standard right now for Hall effect keyboards. And you buy Wooting for their launcher, essentially. Not necessarily the sound of the keyboard, not necessarily the layout of the keyboard, but 100% for their software, because it is just on point and works. Keychron now has a very competitive software, and their software allows you to set the actuation distance. You can select all keys, you can change what that is, you can, you know, for typing, I like the 2.3, so then I just hit submit, and now every key is set to that, and it shows you on the key what they are, 2.3. You can set different profiles, so this one would be 2.0 for all the keys. You can swap between those, and it's very, very intuitive. Also, you can set the rapid trigger, you can set advanced, you can make it so that this is the reset, this is the trigger distance, and you can set all keys, or you can select keys that you want them to trigger on, and it's just, this is endless on what you can do here. And it's just this shows just how sensitive your key can be. So you can, as you push down, there it goes to the full force. Very cool, right? And this is the Keychron Launcher, so it's got everything else too. It's got your macros, your key mapping, your lighting, it's just got everything you need. It shows the layers for Mac, it shows the layers for PC, it shows the different lighting effects, which there's so many great lighting effects. And you can do your macros, which this is really easy because it's got macro record, and I like this actually sometimes more than VIA. So you can't use VIA on this, so there you go. Here's your firmware updater. Keychron really knocked it out of the park here, and they're not going anywhere, so you can definitely trust in this. But why would you need this? Why do you need this if you're not a gamer? That's the important part, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. So when I first started using the Hall effect switches, I was like, these feel weird. I don't know if I like this. You know, I was used to the other ones that have a actual mechanical push and press and like tactile and linears and different switches. And then, I don't know, I started using it more and more, and I ended up pulling that keyboard back and putting it on my desk more and more. And I was like, why do I like this so much? And first of all, my typing speed is just as good as a lot of the others. So if we go and look at my typing speed here, this is the Epotide with the ceramic keys, and then there's my Keychron. And then it's the Q3, and then Epomaker, and then Keychron. There's just a consistency to the way that the switches react to you. So there's springs in these switches, and when you push down, and this is why I think I didn't like it at first, when you push down on these switches, it springs back really hard compared to another mechanical keyboard, or like a switch that has like a higher actuation force. So these are 40 grams, but they don't feel like that. They do feel heavier because that spring really is trying to push that key back up. It kind of has like a bouncy feel to it. And the reason for that is because of the fact that you can use it in analog mode and like just feather it down and up to do different things in games and stuff like that, but the typing experience is really good. And this is where I think Keychron's K2 really stands out from the pack. First of all, they had an insane Kickstarter. They raised $1 million. Like, that's insane. This is one of the most successful backed projects I've ever seen for a keyboard, actually. And there's a reason for that. Keychron is well known for their quality. And so here we are, and look at the price. If you want the aluminum chassis with all the black and the RGB and the, the see-through caps, it's 130 bucks. What's a Wooting? 300 bucks. Now, here's a special edition where it has wooden accents and it has aluminum on the sides, but then the bottom is plastic, and it has the ISO edition. Like, it's got everything you need. It also has a white edition. I mean, that's fantastic, but that's not the main selling point. The main selling point here is that they didn't cheap out on the sound. Magnetic switch keyboards sound terrible. Like, they sound scratchy, they sound pingy. This one is the best that I have tried so far, and I've tried a few, and I have a couple other ones coming in. I actually have a Wooting coming too, but let's just look at why. So here is their acoustics, and they've got a metallic frame with the wood on the side, which actually helps to dampen it. Then they've got EVA foam, they've got more case film, they've got the silicone acoustic pad. They put more effort in the sound profile of their board than anyone else. But they also allowed it to be lightweight. This is the first keyboard I've seen in a while that is mechanical and doesn't feel like a brick on my desk. And I know some people like it to be heavy and sturdy, but I like this middle ground where it's like aluminum on the sides here, and then on the bottom, you've got plastic. So, and you also have feet. This is one of the things that I actually wish that they did a little bit better. So the feet lock on the big ones. So when you push it down and you want to push forward like this, they don't fall down. However, when you use that middle ground foot, which is my favorite foot, when you push forward, it falls. It doesn't lock. And I have a cheaper keyboard, all a F775, and the little feet lock. So like, they're not gonna be pushed down when you have it on the desk, so you can just like move this around and it's not gonna fall. But they didn't do that on this. These don't lock. They have no locking, so they're just very flimsy. They do lock on this one, so that's great if you like that, but like the angle of this is already pretty high, so having that much angle is too much, in my opinion. So I don't know, you can only get so much, I guess, but it has a right angle USB, it has Mac and PC support, and it also has, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and they're all stable. I've actually got a nice coiled cable from Keychron that has the right angle, and it just feels right. So I keep coming back to this keyboard, and it's because the typing experience for developing and interacting with people and talking feels more consistent to me, and I like the sound profile, I like the way the board feels, I like the way it looks, and I just like the effort that they put into it, and they didn't really cut many corners. And not only that, they put some really cool stuff in the box.
What's in the box?
Look, I know I'm not a box guy, right? I appreciate when they do nice things. So you've got your quick start guide. Then they give you a lot of extras, which is really nice. They give you a key puller. They give you the screwdriver and Allen key to take the thing apart. They give you a right angle braided cable. They give you a dongle for your Wi-Fi. They give you the Wi-Fi dongle. And they also give you different color keys for your enter and escape. So originally this had brown on it, and I hated it, I didn't like it. And so if you don't like that brown look, they gave you white ones, which was like a really cool addition. And then your Mac keys and your PC keys. So it comes with a lot of really cool stuff. They really didn't chintz. And the fact that this is only $130 to $140 is insane. I can 100% recommend this because this keyboard keeps ending up on my desk. I have so many keyboards that I'm reviewing now, and it's like, I have this one from Acco, and it's a Hall effect, and I just keep putting this one on my desk. It's taken over. It's the one that I enjoy using the most now for everyday usage. Plus, in gaming, you can feel that difference. The input is so snappy. So even though I'm not like a professional gamer and it's not gonna make me a better gamer, it does make it feel nicer. And when I push down the keys, I feel like the keyboard's going, okay, I hear you, I'm listening. It doesn't feel like I ever get missed clicks, or on some mechanical keyboards, sometimes you and the keyboard aren't really in sync. All the time, me and this keyboard are in sync. It's like, oh, you wanted to push every key on the keyboard? Got you, bro. It's insane what it can do. And then through software, you can really granularly go through every little bit of this keyboard and customize it to what you like. So just to recap, this has an amazing Focky profile. What does that mean? Listen to the sound test at the end and you'll know. It just has a really nice sound. It has great connectivity, Bluetooth, wireless, and cabled. It has a wonderful profile. It comes in multiple different styles and colors. It's affordable. It has great software, and it's Hall effect. So you get all of those things in something that you can use all the time. So I don't have to like swap this keyboard out when I want to like do productivity work. I can use this for the productivity work. And then if I game here and there when I have time, I can go, hey, it's here. I don't have to be like, hey, this is my gaming keyboard and this is my typing keyboard, because that's annoying. I like the one ring to rule them all thing, and this keyboard feels like that. And so not only that, it has great RGB. It's just got a great look. I'm just a huge fan of this keyboard, and at the price point where it's at, and with the love and like affection that Keychron puts into their software, I think Wooting has a run for their money. And the Wooting's coming. I have the 80 HE coming, so I will compare them. However, at the moment, this is my favorite keyboard, let alone my favorite Hall effect keyboard. So take that as you will. I think Hall effect is getting a weird reputation for like only for gamers or only for professional gamers. And I think Hall effect is much better as an all-around keyboard, because not only will it last you longer because of the fact that they're analog switches, they just have more actuations to them. There's no physical things that are going to break as easily as a normal mechanical switch. I mean, there's still physical things and things can break, but they have a long, they're tried and true from years ago. These have existed for a long time. It's just now we have software that can really take advantage of it and use it in gaming and stuff like that. And then for your developing and your typing experiences, it's just a really good experience. I get less typos, I have better accuracy, and I feel like it's just consistent across the board. Whereas like, you know, my ceramic keycaps sound amazing, right? Like I love it. I think it sounds so good, but it's not as consistent on the board when I'm typing. You know, sometimes it gets weird, and I don't know, there's just something about this keyboard where it's just, I feel like me and this keyboard have like an understanding. We're going to work together, and we're going to, it feels like you're symbiotic with this keyboard. When you tell it to do something, it's like, gotcha, boss. Sometimes on some of the other mechanical keyboards, they're like, nah, I don't really feel like doing that right now. No. You've got to let go of that key a little bit more. I'm telling you, this is a really good keyboard. I hope this was helpful. Sorry for the longer review. There's just a lot of things to cover on a Hall effect keyboard. They're a little bit more in depth than, say, a mechanical, because you've got the software, you've got, you know, the sound profile, and you've got just a lot of different things that some of these don't, you know, address. And I feel like Keychron has looked at all of those aspects and gone, okay, how do we make this good for typing? How do we make this good sounding? How do we make this good for gaming? How do we make this a good software experience? How do we make this good for the beginner? How do we make this good for the advanced user? And they were like, here's how we do it. And they did it. And that's why I think they've had an extremely successful Kickstarter. So you know me and Kickstarters, I would say this is worth backing. After using this keyboard and literally not wanting to take it off my desk, 100%. 100%. That's it. That's all I got. I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments, please in the comment section below. I'm sure I missed something. I'm also sure I probably said something wrong. I'm new to the Hall effect experience. I'm not super techie. I just like when things work. So take that as you may. Also, a like would be great. Dislike if you hated it. And subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications, and I will see you in the next video as always. Thanks for watching.